The Nintendo Switch 2. Is it worth the upgrade, or should you buy a Steam Deck instead? Well, in this video we'll see if it's worth to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, or if you should get another handheld like the Steam Deck. Today we'll be breaking down what Nintendo did right, what they messed up, and how they compare to other handhelds like the Steam Deck, and who this console is actually for. The Nintendo Switch 2 is pretty much Nintendo doubling down on what they do best. Simple, portable, and a lot of fun, but now with modern power. The Switch 2 brings a faster NVIDIA chip, better resolution, smoother frame rates, and much stronger third-party support. You will get more power, it'll get faster load times, and it's an overall better handheld performance. And this is where it gets interesting. The Nintendo Switch 2 can push up to 4K with DLSS, can give you up to 60 FPS, something that the Switch 1 couldn't do, and the Switch 2 gives you up to 1080p on handheld mode. The games are smoother, and the load times are massively improved. Now remember, the Nintendo Switch 1 came out in 2017, which was a while ago. I'm feeling old. Nintendo Switch 2 gives you DLSS upscaling, better battery efficiency, faster eShop downloads, and a better dock. Is the PS5 level? No. But for Nintendo games, this is a lot of fun. And for Nintendo fans, this is what we've been looking for a while. Unfortunately, there's some stuff that I didn't like about the Switch 2. For example, the upgrades. Some of them you have to pay for. If you had Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of Kingdom, you probably have to pay a $10 fee to upgrade your game. Now, okay, it gives you better resolution and better frame rate, but shouldn't this be included? I mean, I bought the game for Switch 1, right? But Nintendo Switch 2 has a big library and it will get bigger this year. For early 2026, we will have Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch Edition, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Mario Tennis Fever, Yakuza 3, and Dark Tides, and a very interesting and controversial release, which is the Virtual Boy collection. I don't know, I never played the Virtual Boy back in the day. Obviously, I was way too young for that. But, I don't know, like, bringing that collection instead of other classics that Nintendo had, it's been a little bit controversial, and I don't know how it's gonna work in the long run. I guess we'll see. It will be available for all Nintendo Online subscribers. Other games that are coming out are Resident Evil Requiem, Pokemon, Pocopia, Monster Hunter Stories 3, and 007 First Light, which I'm very excited to play. It seems like a lot of fun and very cinematic. And there's a lot more coming to Switch 2 in 2026, so that's good. Now I'll tell you the good and the bad about the Switch 2. Nintendo absolutely nailed a few things. Incredible first-party exclusives, seamless handheld and docked experience, plug-and-play simplicity, like always, and battery life's been optimized for casual gaming. Now, it's not the greatest battery ever, but I mean, it works when you're playing handheld, and it doesn't really matter when you're playing docked. But let's not pretend this thing is perfect. Still underpowered compared to PC handhelds. The Nintendo Online is still Nintendo Online. The limited customization about the Switch 2 has been a little disappointing. Right now, all we have is a black theme and a white theme, and that's it. I remember the 3DS and other consoles that Nintendo had previously. There were tons of themes and there were a lot of customization you could do. Now, not that much. And there's no native mods, of course, and no emulation. Now that's if you're comparing it to a PC handheld, which of course is not for everyone. If you want a console experience, this works fine. If you're expecting a PC handheld or a mini PC, this is definitely not it. But again, not everyone wants a portable PC. Consoles are the way to go sometimes. Now, let's compare the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is basically a portable PC. You will get emulation, mods, your Steam library, Moonlight, Xbox Cloud, PlayStation Remote Play, and everything else. And the games are way cheaper than Nintendo's. This is because Steam does a lot of sales throughout the year, while Nintendo doesn't really do a lot of sales on their games, at least the first party ones. If you love tinkering, emulation, and mods, get a Steam Deck. But if you don't want to worry about any of those things, you don't want to worry about tweaking your performance, and you just want to play on the couch with your friends to Mario Party or Mario Kart, get a Nintendo Switch 2. Should you buy a Nintendo Switch 2? Buy the Switch 2 if you love Nintendo games, playing couch co-op and simple fun. And skip it if you want raw power, mods, or total freedom on customization. For me, the Nintendo Switch 2 is not trying to beat the Steam Deck, of course. It's trying to be Nintendo, what it's always been. And honestly, it succeeds. If you enjoy the Nintendo exclusives and Nintendo universe, definitely get a Nintendo Switch 2. Or if you have a Nintendo Switch 1, you can sell it and you can keep your games. You can play them on your Switch 2. You can sell your Nintendo Switch 1, and with that money, you can adjust to get the second one. That makes a lot of sense. That's what I did, which is a good thing because immediately you won't be able to afford many of these Nintendo Switch 2 games. They are really expensive. And of course, you can get a Nintendo Switch 2 used, which you can find on Facebook Marketplace, or you can find them open box, and that way you can save a little bit of money. You gotta be careful though, because you have to make sure it's in good condition, it's working fine, it's reading the games, and you will lose that warranty. And it's a little bit crazy because I never expected the Switch 2 games to be this expensive. I mean, you can get Mario Kart and it's like $79.99. Donkey Kong is very expensive as well. Like, I'll show you here a little bit of the eShop so you can see. It's very expensive. I'm not sure why. I guess they're trying to make a new standard for their games, but this is not it. And also, I'm not a big fan of the game key cards. Apparently, this is just a plastic box that comes with a key card. It looks like a game, but it's not really the game. It's just a code that you can use to play your game or install it on your console. That makes no sense. So some of the things that they did with the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm not a big fan of, but it's still great. I mean, it's awesome. I want to play all my old games now again on this console. For example, I'm playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom with the update, and it looks a lot better on the TV, and it looks a lot better on handheld mode, and it loads faster while giving me a good experience. There's other games that I've been playing on my Nintendo Switch 2, for example Red Dead Redemption, which I played on Xbox 360 a while ago, but not portably, and it runs pretty smooth. There's other games that I've been playing again, like Super Smash Bros, which runs a lot better now, and it looks great as well. And I'm waiting on the Animal Crossing update to see how it's going to look. While I didn't see a lot of differences on that trailer that they released recently, I'm still gonna give it a try since I already have the original game. And of course, with the Nintendo Switch 2, you have the advantage of having the Joy-Cons. With these, you can play with your friends, you can play with your partner, you can play with your family portably. I mean, you don't need extra controllers, you don't need any of that. You can just release them from the Nintendo Switch 2, which now has a magnet instead of a hook that they used to have, and it works a lot better now. It's still not the best experience, but it works if you're on the go and you need to play a little bit of Mario Kart. My conclusion is, if you want a PC handheld, definitely get a Steam Deck. If you want to mod it, you want to customize stuff, you want cheaper games, and you want to play old games that are not compatible with Switch 2, get a Steam Deck. But if you want to play the Nintendo Switch exclusives, if you're a fan of their consoles, if you're a fan of Nintendo and their universe, and especially if you had a Nintendo Switch 1 and you want to upgrade, definitely get it and keep your games, because you can still play them even without the upgrades. But yeah, thanks for watching this comparison. Let me know what you think about the Switch 2 and Steam Deck. I will probably do a Nintendo Switch 2 review, more complete with a little more of detail without the Steam Deck. But yeah, I mean, it was my goal to compare these two because they're very similar devices, but they have different objectives while sharing the same goal: to entertain you anywhere. So if you enjoy this breakdown, hit the like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. And tell me, are you getting a Switch 2 or are you getting a Steam Deck?